Now that I've had a chance to play around with the exhibition training and actually read the controls and try to hit all the buttons on my own to see what they do, I think this game is literally much better than what I gave it credit for in the beginning, which was pretty good to begin with. I'm gonna be CM Punk. Cody Rhodes is just gonna stand there. He might do the odd reversal because he's trying to be goosey. But I wanted to share this with you because I think it's really important. One of the biggest complaints that I had when looking at the controls is I couldn't tell how to drag an opponent, for example. It's just not there. Okay. Well, let's say you grab a guy and you slam him and he's too close to the ropes. If you pull the trigger, the R2 trigger, what you would use to shoot or drive a car, you can just, you can just drag him in the middle of the ring. Like, that's really amazing. And then you can go for your pinfall. And then if you want to cancel it, the right bumper button to cancel it. When you lock up, if you just move around, okay, you can actually like move with the wrestler. That way, what you can do is lock up with them, push them up against the ropes. Now there's even a new set of moves that you can do because you're near the ropes. It's just absolutely amazing, and I never knew that. Now, circle is run, okay? And what's really cool about this, you can't really see it, but just take my word for it. I'm going to start running. I'm just going to tap it once, and I'm going to immediately hold a button to do an attack even before I get to the superstar, okay? So I'm going to try and do it like this. So I'm going to run and immediately hit the button. And what ends up happening is it releases the move when you're actually in contact with the superstar. Usually, as long as you get a decent distance away. When you lock up with them, if you just wanted to Irish whip them, which is something you can't do in 2K games anymore, again, it's the R2 trigger. That'll throw them against the ropes, okay? Now, if you want to throw them out of the ring, go ahead and pick them up with R1. Okay. You would actually lock up with them, but hit L2. That's to toss them out, but unfortunately, I didn't actually face where I wanted, so that's okay. Because he was in the corner. There's just a lot more moves than I really realized that there was. So now that I'm facing against the ropes here, okay? Again, R2, I know my camera's reversed there. R2 or RT, this is what would throw him against the ropes. But if you do the L2 after you've locked up with him, what'll end up happening is you'll toss his ass out over the top rope. Now to get out, you use this button to get out. Well, that's the button. Or to throw him out, that's the button you use to get out. When you're on the apron, there's a few things you can do. You could pull down on the rope with the R2 button. You can do L2 and jump down. L2 to jump back in. On the apron, R1. Like there's a few moves here, but there doesn't seem to be an attack from the apron onto the outside. So you got to do the L2 or LT to get back in. Now, if you grab them, right, you can use the run button to Irish whip or just use that R2 button. It's kind of like both buttons can be used for throwing. But if you want to throw him back in the ring, you got to use the same button you used to throw his ass out, which is that L2 LT button. See? Now he'll go back in the ring. And then if you run and hit... No, that didn't do it. There's a way to roll back in, but I don't remember. My point is there's just a lot more to this. Like when you go to just do a simple grapple, and then you tap the X, he does a body slam. But if you grab him with X, and now you do like a direction, you see what I mean? Like there's just a lot more to it than I realized. You can grab him. You can do the L1 button to get behind him. That looked a little bit awkward. That's okay. You could pick him up. If you just do, let's say, X, and then just tap square. Bonk. If you do X, forward or back with that same button, he'll do that. Away or forward, we'll do the same move. But now if we do up and square, it's that. If we do down and square, it's that. Okay? Another cool thing is, well, this you probably already know. If you just tap the square button for a punch, you do that. But if you do it a couple of times, he'll do like a 3-move combo. And look at that. Look at that little extra feature where he was near the ropes and he rolled out of the, the top ropes. Like, I don't know. To me, just those subtle little things, there's just so much more here than I realized. And depending on how much damage you've given them, will also depend on whether or not they're a little bit groggy, they're taking a while to get back in. And all those things considered, again, have made it that I have a much further appreciation for this game. So this was the square button, just the regular strike. But if you hold the button, it's a different move. If we do a kick, that's one kick. But if we hold down the kick, see, it's a different kick there. Just like, I don't want this video to be super long, but I just wanted to share that with you, that I was completely hell-bent on not understanding why I couldn't do certain things, and it's just because I didn't know what I was doing. And for me, that's to turn them over with the R2, if you just want to turn them over. But the same button, if you hold it, you drag them. And that is like a big thing. The dragging, and knowing that when you lock up, you can just like move around and kind of, line them up with what it is that you're trying to do. There's just some like really, really cool moves that you can do. There's even one where you can drop kick them over the top rope. I just kind of forget how to do that there. But yeah. Anyways, whatever. Probably a useless video, but I really strongly suggest that you take some time to do that. You might surprise yourself with some of the moves that you can do. And there's a little bit more to it than I realized. And I'm glad that I gave it another chance, because I was getting a little bit like, there doesn't seem to be much here. There's not a lot of gravy on my mashed potatoes. They're kind of tasting a little dry. And in closing, I didn't notice. Notice how I have the signature? So when I lock up with him, I have the signature hit any of the buttons on the D-pad. And what would end up happening is I would keep doing it over and over, because I'm used to the 2K games where it just goes into the finisher, right? Well, that's not how it works in this game. So now that we've already done our signature, we could just keep doing it over and over again now that it's there. It doesn't just disappear. Well, it does after a certain amount of time. When you lock up, you do some moves. There, signature, if you hit your right analog stick, at least for CM Punk, you just flick the right stick. Now you can do a finisher and or a signature, and you just flick that right stick again. Now he reversed it. He's making me look bad, but that's not the point. He wasn't supposed to do that. I'm gonna have to tweet him and say, why you gotta be like that, bro? Why you gotta be like that? That's what you get. Anyways, I think that's way longer than what I wanted to make this video. But yeah, it's a good time. This has completely changed how I feel about the game. As always, if you liked it, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. It does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm. And if you didn't like the video, well, that's too bad. Go ahead, give it a thumbs down. I'll bend it in half, twist it, break it off in your ass. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, I mean, naturally, that would be great. But if not, thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care. And maybe I'll see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.